Hello everyone. In this video we will talk about variables. If you are new to my channel then please do subscribe and watch the video till end. If you like the video, hit like button and do some comments. Okay, so let's start. What is variables? In Java, variables is a data container that saves the data value during program execution. Let's try to understand this way. To store any data into any device or system, you need memory. It can be RAM, ROM, pen drive, etc. We talk about memory 1 TB, 500 GB, etc. But why? Have you ever thought? Based on size of the data one need to store. Okay. So in the similar way, to store any data value in our computer and memory, there are process which we need to follow. So on the screen, if you are able to see, so this is our RAM, right? This is our RAM. 1 second. Yeah, so this is our RAM. Okay. So one developer is assigning a variable with the value 20. Okay, he declared the value age and the age he is mentioned as 20. Okay, so what is happening in the RAM? In the RAM, one memory is getting allocated and this 20 value is being saved here. Okay, so we will talk more about this. So you can see here we are having one class. Inside that class we are having main method. So in the main method we are declaring and initializing a variable. So this result, right? So this result, whatever you are able to see, so this is variable name. Okay, this is a variable name. This is user defined. So you want to keep any name based on your functionality or business logic, you can put this name. And this is what we are saying, that this variable will hold which type of value. Okay, so this is the data type. Okay, it will state that which type of value this variable is going to store. Okay, and on the equal to operator is nothing but in Java it is assignment operator. Okay, and this is the value which you are going to store in this variable. Okay, so this assignment operator is means this right hand side value will be stored in left hand side variable. Okay, and this one should be compatible with this data type, because you are mentioning here, right, that this result variable will hold integer data type, right? So the value whatever you are mentioning on the right hand side of assignment operator, that should be compatible to this data type. Okay, so let's move forward. So this is variable declaration. On the screen you are able to see, right? So this is the syntax in Java. So this is the data type as I mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, so which type of data you want to store in this variable? This is nothing but a kind of placeholder, you can think. Okay, this is a placeholder. Okay, and this placeholder will store which kind of data, or you can assume as a container as well. So you need to specify that which kind of data this placeholder is going to store. So that we are assigning using int. Okay, so it is nothing but a type. Okay, in Java it is a type, and this is a variable name. Okay, so this is example it is shown here. Okay, so data type you need to mention, syntax of variable. Okay, data type you need to mention, variable name and assignment operator, then the value whatever you want to do, that should be compatible with this data type. Okay, so now move to the next slide. So before jumping over to this slide, we will understand that in Java, right, or how we can store data value in our computer memory, right? So everyone know computer has a memory. To store value in memory, we need to reserve some space based on the size of the data, right? So this is done using variables. In Java this is done using variables. That is why each variable has a specific type. Okay, each variable will have a specific type, and the reason behind why it is called variable is the value inside it can vary or change during execution of the program, because as everyone know that variable represent an unknown value, right? Unknown value, it can change during the program execution. Now let us look into the computer memory structure. So let's have a look into the computer memory. So how you can imagine that a variable is like a box in the computer memory. Okay, so it is a kind of box in the computer memory. Each variable has a unique memory address associated with it. Okay, so see here is the example. So we assume you are a developer, you have you are declaring and assigning a variable. Okay, so you have mentioned that I want int value, this is a data type, and the name of the variable or container placeholder you mentioned as age. Okay, and using assignment operator you have mentioned 20. Okay, so this is the value you want to store. So this is a RAM in memory. How it is happening, this one space is getting allocated from, assume this is 1 TB. Okay, the space is 1 TB. Okay, so from that 1 TB, this much amount, okay, this much amount means 8 byte. Okay, 8 byte is getting allocated for this age. Okay, so here you can assume this is age. Okay, this is a placeholder age. Okay, as per this age, and the value which is being contained is 20. Okay, int age 20. So in the memory it will means, you can imagine like this way. Okay, now one more example is here, you can see. So here what is happening, see in the code, right? Yes, here we are mentioning, see, int a, int b equal to a, and so one by one. Int a equal to 3, so in the stack memory, see, int a equal to 3. Okay, now then what we are saying, int b equal to a, so this b1 again memory got allocated, and a value is nothing but 3, right? So again 3 got stored here, and then again downside what we are saying, b equal to 100. So in the same b, right, one different copy is getting created, and the value which is being stored is 100. Okay, so the reason is, for this variable, right, you are assigning some different value. Now what is happening, the reference is being changed to here. Okay, b equal to 100, and these are non-primitive, right? So these are non-primitive. So non-primitive memory got allocated into the heap area, and local or primitive type of a data get memory in the stack area. Okay, whenever an object is created, it is stored in heap space, and the reference of the object is stored in the stack area, right? So because of last in first out, right? So as per the time duration that variable is getting used, it will be present in the stack, and the moment the life is getting expired, right, means the scope of the variable is getting changed, and then this will be removed from here. Okay, so let's see now how we can declare the variables, right? So whenever we say declare word, right, it means allocating space inside computer memory. Okay, to store some data into computer memory, we need to reserve some space in the memory. So this is done using variable declaration. So finally, to allocate space in computer memory, we declare a variable. Okay, so this is nothing but a declaration. This part is declaration, right? This part is declaration. From here to here is declaration. Okay, this is declaration. Okay, so this is declaration. The type of the variable should be compatible with the data inside it, right? So if we are saying for this int x variable, right, declaration, this is declaration, we are saying int, then value should be int type. Okay, if we are saying string, suppose string we are saying, then the value should be of string type. Okay, it should not like you will mention as int value. Okay, you will store int value, no, you will get error. Okay, so for example, to store a string inside a variable, the variable type should be string. We can declare multiple variable of same type in single class. To declare multiple variable of same type, you can see example here. Okay, so declare multiple value of same type. See, int x equal to 5, int y equal to 6, int z equal to 50. So you can see this common thing, right? All this variable is of same type, int, right? So how you can write in Java for easiest way? See, one int type and x equal to 5, y equal to 6, and z equal to, in single line you can write this way. So this is also one of the concept. Okay, this is also one of the concept you can write. And second one is like how you can initialize multiple variable with the same value. Okay, so see, int x, y, z, we did declaration here. Okay, we declared that x, y, and z is 3 different variable but of same type. It will contain integer value. Okay, so okay, we know that integer value. Then how we are declaring in the same means multiple variable with the same value, x equal to y equal to z equal to 50. Means what will happen, for x, for y, and for z, 50 value will be assigned. For x also 50, y equal to 50, z. When you will try to pull the value, right, if you want to check the value of x, you will get 50. If you want to check the value of y, you will get 50. If you want to check the value of z, you will get 50. Okay, so this is the concept for multiple variable with same value. So a variable must be declared before it can be used. That means we cannot use variable without declaring. Okay, so whenever you want to use any variable, right, so you need to declare first. Declare in the sense, as I already have mentioned, means data type and variable name. Okay, this is declaration. So whenever you want to use any variable, you must be declaring the variable before using that one. Okay, without declaring you can't use. Okay, so in this way, here we will see like how we can initialize a variable. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, so I've already mentioned this one, a given example of this one, int result equal to 100. Okay, so this is variable name, this is data type, and this is the value which we are storing. Okay, but there are multiple ways to initialize. Okay, for your clarification, this word initialize in the sense storing a value into a variable. This is nothing but initialization. This concept is initialization. Okay, when you are storing a value, right, in the variable, then that is called as initialization. So there are multiple ways of initialization in Java. So you can see, whenever you are declaring a variable, you can initialize. Okay, whenever you are declaring a variable, you can initialize. Okay, here also we are declaring a variable, we can initialize. Okay, so this is nothing but Java declaration with initialization. Okay, you are declaring also, you are initializing also. This is one of the way. Okay, now second way is without initialization. Okay, means say int student. Okay, this is data type and this is variable name. String student name, this is data type and variable name. Okay, so this we are declaring. Okay, and you can declare anywhere. Okay, and later point of time, wherever it is required, right, in your code or program, wherever it is required, you can use this one. Okay, so you can see we are not declaring, we are initializing, because say we are not mentioning any data type here, right? Why? Because already we have declared int student id. Okay, so this student id variable name is of which type? Int type, we already mentioned. Okay, so that's why directly what we are doing, student id equal to 20, we are initializing the value, right? Student name equal to Java, we are initializing the value. Okay, so remember there are two ways. In the single line you can do declaration, initialization, or you can declare anywhere and you can initialize anywhere. Okay, this is the second approach. So now it is clear, right? So initialization is assigning a value to a variable when we declare it. Just be careful while defining a variable. Okay, you cannot redefine the same variable. Okay, you cannot redefine the same variable. Okay, so and I want to be careful in two point. Okay, each variable has a unique name. Each variable has a unique name. When assigning a value to a variable, don't define it again. Okay, for example, here already you mentioned int student id. Here you are initializing, right, initializing that student id. But what if I will put here int student id? It is duplicate, right? Because already you have defined here. Again you are trying to define here int student id, then you will get error here. Okay, so just be careful. Here we will see how many types of variables are there in Java. So in Java there are three types of variable. One is local variable, second one is instance variable, third one is static variable. Okay, so what is local variable? First we will talk about local variable. So variable that is defined within a block or method or constructor is called as local variable. Okay, so as the word local means, right, that is for within a specific scope. Okay, so whenever you declare any variable inside a block or method or constructor, right, that is a member of class. Okay, member of class, that is local variable. Local variable, you know, when it is created, when that block gets started, right? So whenever you write any block or method, you mention this braces, right, curly braces. Okay, so when this got started, so the location, memory allocation will be happen, right, for that variable. Okay, and that will be created. Okay, and when it is getting destroyed, when this end block will reach, right, so that means the allocation, memory allocation will be removed. It will be eligible for cleanup. Okay, when this exiting curly braces will hit. Okay, so the scope of this variable exists only within the block and with, yeah. So suppose if we have mentioned here int a equal to 10. Okay, int a equal to 10 here. Okay, so what will happen, you can, the scope of this int a is from here to here. Okay, if after this here, if you want to try getting this a value, you will get error because this is not visible here, right? You can mention it this way: this is starting point, this is ending point. Before this and after this variable is not visible at all. Okay, so just remember this one. Okay, and initialization of the local variable is mandatory before using it in the defined scope. Yep, whenever you want to use this local variable, right? So you must be initializing, because default value will not be provided for local variable. You must initialize before using that one. Okay, so you can see the example here in the downside. This is main method, right? So this is a member of a class, right? This is a class and this is a member main method. Okay, so this is the starting point, curly braces, this is the ending point. Within that we have mentioned int variable equal to 10. This is a local variable for this method, right? Local with this method. From if I want to access here this var variable value, okay, then I will get error here. Okay, because JVM will not able to find where variable is present or not, because the scope is over, right? It is not visible outside of this. Now we will see about this instance variable. Okay, so instance is nothing but it is a class level variable. Okay, so whichever variable you declare in the class, right, in the class outside of any class member, that is method, constructor, block, or anything. Okay, outside of that, that is instance variable. On that, mostly the instance variable you will find on the top of the class. Okay, so this variable are created when the object of the class is created and destroyed when the object is destroyed. That is true. So the memory allocation will happen whenever the object is getting created for that class. So whatever variables are there, that will be getting the memory. Okay, so unlike local variable, we may use access specifier for instance variable. If we do not specify any access specifier. Yeah, so for the class level variable or instance variable, right, instance variable, you can able to use access modifiers, okay, such as public, private, default, whatever it will be. Okay, so if you are not providing any access modifier, by default it will be default type. Okay, access modifier will be of default type. Okay, access, yeah. So initialization of an instance variable is not mandatory. That is true, because you know, whenever object is being created, a default value will be assigned to that instance variable. Suppose it is int type, then if you are not assigning any value for that, right, just you are mentioning int I equal to int I. Okay, this you are defining here. Okay, then by default it will be assigned with 0 by default. Okay, so that is the thing, compiler will assign by default 0. Okay, it is default value. So that's why it is not mandatory to assign any value. Okay, so instance variable can be accessed only using object, right? Yes, that is true. For that class object, okay, you can using that class object, you can access any of the instance variables. For example, you can see here, this is a class, right? Inside the class directly we are mentioning these things, right? Private int door, we are declaring all these variables. Okay, so this is nothing but instance variable. I told you, right, within the class, on the top of the class we mentioned this one. So that is why, and it is not present inside any class member, that is method or block or constructor, right? So these are the instance variables. So here we will look about static variable. Okay, so static variable is also known as class variables. Okay, so why? Because it is similar to instance variable, you can say. Okay, on the top of the class we mentioned that one, but only the difference is we are using static keyword. Okay, static keyword we are using before data type. Okay, or with that variable. Okay, so the difference is that static variable are declared using the static keyword within a class outside of any method, constructor, or block. Yes, as I told you that it is similar to instance, very much similar to instance variable, just we are using static keyword. Okay, but how we can access that static variables? So you can access the static variable by using directly the class name. You don't require any object for that class to access that variable, static variable. You can use directly class name dot that variable name. Okay, so in that way. Now initialization of a static variable is not mandatory. Yes, initialization of that static member is not mandatory, as same as instance variable, because that is class level variable, right? On the top of the class you can find that one. So whenever object is being created, so or the class is being loaded, so the default value will be assigned by the JVM. Okay, so that is the thing. So as you can see here, right, static int count equal to 2. See, from here int count equal to 2, if we will write only these things, right, these things, then it will be instance variable, right? But one keyword we are adding, that is static. Okay, so that's why it is called a static variable. Okay, so value, mostly the value of the static variable should not be changing as per the standard. So suppose one memory got allocated with count, okay, count, and the value is 2 here. So again the same value will be shared with each and every object. See here, object 1 is there, object 2 is there, right? Int id equal to 22, int id equal to 23. Okay, but when you will print the count, right, for this one or this one, okay, it will come as 2 only. Okay, so count will be same, that is the static variable. So this is the high level you can see. Okay, so here what we are doing, we have created a class, okay, public string athlete name, public double athlete speed, athlete age. Okay, so these are instance variable. Why instance? Because it is not mentioned inside any class member like method, constructor, or block, right? Directly inside the class it is mentioned, and there is no static keyword used. So this is instance variable. Okay, now public athlete, see method they have created, right? So inside a method, scope of that method is from here to here, right, from here to here. So they are assigning that one. Okay, the field value they are assigning. So this is nothing but local variable. Okay, local, again this is also local variable because the scope of this one is from here to here. Okay, this is one of the member of the class, right? So this is the local variable. So I hope you liked this video, guys. If you haven't subscribed my channel, then please do subscribe, and thank you for watching. Let's wait for my next video.